How y'all doing? My name is Villa, and today we're going to be breaking down the Give It Up music video. I shot this by myself in Brown County, Indiana. You know, I'm not gonna lie, when I went out to shoot this, I had no fucking clue how I was going to edit this. And so I learned a lot in this process. As y'all are about to see in this video, everybody has their own way. Some people have more complex ways, some people have more simple ways. In my opinion, this is one of the easiest things you can do that looks the best with these draw masks and just these maybe cut down in the middle masks. As long as your background is the same, that's the key to this type of editing, is keeping the camera as still as possible and not moving it at all so it doesn't affect it when you go into post. I'm not saying that this way that I edit is the best way. I'm sure there are 1,000 ways that are better to do this. I'm just showing you how I did it. Alright, so to start this off, I filmed this on an FX30. I'd say 95% of the shots were shot on an Apex 50mm Blazer anamorphic lens. These are the first autofocus anamorphic lenses, and you know, for a budget anamorphic lens, I definitely recommend this. The other shots were shot on a Tamron 17 through 70mm. And this is just a zoom lens. I filmed this in Brown County, Indiana. Obviously got to peep the presented by Marcele Records. This is the Give It Up music video. So this is the first clip that shows up. This is just this clip, and I put a kaleidoscope effect on it. And then I centered that around the middle, and it has this little lever almost like this, and you can switch it around and switch the positions for it. I got this repeated kaleidoscope image of, you know, my car and just the wilderness around it, and I thought it looked really cool. So for this opening shot with me coming from behind both sides of this tree, it's a very simple match, just running down the side of this tree and going down. And because I'm at the same distance on both sides, the focal length is the exact same. This is similar to my other mask. It's just a very simple draw mask going down the side of the tree. And then I have both where I come out to touch the iPad, and then this one I'm walking this way. This is extremely easy to do. On to the next shot. Alright, so for this shot, I really like this shot because this is the main open introduction for me doing this concept with multiple versions of myself. This was shot on the anamorphic as well at 23.98 FPS. This mask is a lot more simple than the other ones. You see a little bit of distortion right here in the picnic table, and it just goes straight up and down. For this one, I had to make sure that I wasn't going past this line, or else a limb would disappear in the mask. This entire scene had to be shot where this was the focal point, even when I was shooting this one. If I were to have this one in focus and this one in focus, right here in the middle, it would not match up and it would not look good. I already had a little bit of trouble with clouds and positioning of the sun changing during the video, you know, just giving off different shadows of different shots. So that's why I had to really play around where I put my mask and where it made sense for the shot. I filmed this one with my head bobbing out of focus, just doing background stuff, while this is the main focus of it. You know, I walked down from over here to here. On to the next scene. So for this next scene, this is the view from behind as we're rapping. With this one, I wanted to have both subjects in focus. And I know y'all probably thinking, why didn't you just use the Tamron? The Tamron is great for just getting an overall image of what you're trying to shoot. You know, I knew that I couldn't really do much about the focal point in this one. And as I was shooting, I was thinking that I could maybe use this tree to kind of put a divide in the image. I just drew this mask going right down this tree, and then let the bottom of it kind of distort with the leaves. And you can't even tell that this is shot in two parts. You can tell right here with these leaves out of focus and how right here it is in focus that these are two different shots. This like motion blur that anamorphics give, like in this area, is just so beautiful, and I needed that in this. And you know, it wasn't planned for me to turn around and kind of interact with this scene. This was something I kind of just did on the spot. I had to make sure that I kept my positioning away from this tree, because right here is where this masking is, and if I went past it, then my limb or my finger or whatever I'm putting past the tree would disappear. This is different from the scene that I was sitting on the picnic table, and the other one was in the background, and I had to keep the picnic table one out of focus. You know, with this one, because I did this masking with the tree, I was able to focus on each subject, so it didn't really alter anything. On to the next shot. For this next one, you only saw this maybe a couple seconds in the music video for transitions. This was shot on the Tamron at probably like 17 millimeters, so I didn't have to worry about the focal points messing each other up. This mask is just drawn right down this tree and then kind of distorts off in the gravel and leaves. You know, I really like this shot because it provided a different perspective of all of this. You know, I didn't shoot all of these at one time. I only have one FX30, so I had to set this up and try to get my positioning right. I'm a lot more this way in this scene than I am in the others for it to make sense, or else I'd be standing all the way back here and it would just look dumb. You know, these are the slight adjustments you have to make just on the go. Even though it's in for a couple seconds, I love this color grade in this shot. So for this next shot, this is a low angle shot on the anamorphic. And I was trying to be very mindful of my shadows because this is all natural light. So I'm using the sun, so clouds come in the way and it affects the shadows and distorts the light in different ways. So I had to work really fast on this. At first I color graded this to kind of have a more yellow scent on the light. I ended up deciding making it more of a natural light color. I really love this shadow going down my face and how the anamorphic distorts it. And for all of these, this Adidas hoodie is a lot more green than it looks on here. I love this blue hue that I put on all of it. It just overall made it look better in my opinion. One issue I had is, you know, I use this iPad for live playback when I'm filming these. When I'm just hitting record, you know, starting my music and then rapping and just doing my thing. A lot of these shots, it would look great and then I would look down at the iPad and it's like, okay, I gotta cut it there because it just doesn't look good.